Very good evening to all our viewers. This is Primetime News. I'm Joel Outskun. We start off today with a look at the headlines.
Former Defense Secretary Fernando and the Inspector General of Police, who were sent on compulsory leave, released on bail. Police fired tear gas to disperse university students protesting in Kolpiti. Basler BT-67 aircraft from Spectrum airbound to South Africa and not India. A supplementary estimate of 65,000 million rupees presented in Parliament, highest fund allocated to settle expressway debts.
Starting off with our top story this evening. Now, former Secretary of Defense Fernando and Inspector General of Police Pujit Jasundaro, who has been sent on compulsory leave, were released on bail today. The suspects were released with a surety of 500,000 rupees each, citing that enough evidence has not been presented to prove the charges, including aiding and abetting in committing manslaughter.
Several criminal charges, including absconding from duties and aiding and abetting in committing manslaughter under the Penal Code, were filed against the former Defense Secretary and the IGP. When the case was taken up today, Colombo Chief Magistrate Lanka said enough evidence has not been presented to prove the charges under Article 296 of the Penal Code. The magistrate added that Pujit Jasundar is a qualified officer and admitted that he had not acted in an optimal level with regard to the April 21st attacks. She added that the charge of unintentional manslaughter filed under Article 298 and the charge of murder under Article 296 is contradicting. The magistrate was of the stance that a consensus should be reached to agree on one charge. The magistrate says it is clear that the charges have been filed without conducting a proper investigation and that it is clear by the fact that even statements have not been recorded. The magistrate added that it is evident from the previous verdicts that the court should not act to please the investigators. Meanwhile, the chief magistrate said it is unfair to arrest suspects for absconding duties even after the Presidential Committee has asked to conduct an investigation based on Criminal Legal Code of Conduct. She instructed the suspects to provide a statement to the Criminal Investigations Department after their medical treatments are completed. The Chief Magistrate also instructed the Registrar to obtain signatures from the suspects at the National Hospital and the Police Hospital. She further ordered to provide a progress report on investigations on the 22nd of this month.
Now, the police took steps to disperse a protest march organized by the Inter-University Students Federation at Kolpiti Junction today. The protest march began near the University of Sri Javadanapura.
The Inter-University Students Federation, who convened opposite the University of Sri Javadanapura, commenced the protest march at around 12 p.m. This was organized by the IUSF to demonstrate their opposition against the controversial Batiklo campus. Despite torrential rains, the protest march progressed through Nugegoda, Kirulapana, Thungmulla and reached Kolpiti through Gaul Road. At Kolpiti Junction, the students were greeted by tear gas and water cannons used by the police in an attempt to disperse the protest march. The protest march did not progress beyond the Kolpiti junction. The students continued to stage their protests near the junction. 1.5 hours later, the students dispersed.
The Ministry of Highways and Road Development presented a supplementary estimate of 65,000 million rupees to Parliament today.
57,131 million rupees of the supplementary budget presented by Leader of the House Minister Lakshman Kiriyalla is allocated for the development of highways. 55,818 million rupees will be allocated to settle the foreign debt obtained to construct the expressways. 6,044 million rupees has been allocated for road development. Meanwhile, approval was also sought from Parliament to increase the limit to obtain foreign loans up to Rs 480 billion of the Active Liability Management Act.
I would first like to move a resolution under Section 3 of the Active Liability Management Act number 8 of 2018 that this Parliament resolves that a sum not exceeding 480 billion may be raised by way of loans in or outside Sri Lanka for such purposes specified in the provisions of the Active Liability Management Act number 8 of 2018.
The MCC Compact has approved an amount of $480 million, which is the equivalent of approximately 85 billion rupees. Issuing a letter to Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, newly appointed CEO Sean Cairncross of the Millennium Challenge Corporation has encouraged continued leadership of the Prime Minister to advance their shared goals of promoting growth and reducing poverty for the Sri Lankan people. The letter, which has been copied to US Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Elena Teplitz, further says that MCC remains committed to advancing the proposed $480 million compact that their government have jointly developed to address major constraints in the Sri Lankan economy related to transport and land administration. Whilst the American agency MCC has stated that this is to develop transportation and administer lands, Sri Lanka's finance minister avers in Parliament that Sri Lanka requires a whopping 480 billion rupees. The MCC Compact has identified funding matters that are far less important than the pressing issues faced by Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's agriculture, irrigation, water, sanitation, education and healthcare sectors are in urgent need of development. Sri Lanka's exports and tourism industry requires urgent attention too. Perhaps the MCC should make available this 85 billion rupees to Minister of Finance Mangala Samaravira in order that the 480 billion borrowing requirement is reduced appropriately. That could be considered a real benefit. Over to you, Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance.
Now, what is the objective of the Millennium Challenge Corporation? General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Dayasiri Jayasekara, expressed his stance in this regard.
ලැබුණේ නැහැ අමාත්‍ය මණ්ඩලේ මේකට විශේෂයෙන් අධිකරු ජනාධිපතිතුමා විශාල සංශෝධන ගණනාවක් ගෙනාවා.
This did not receive any cabinet approval. The president brought in many amendments to this. However, on the 22nd of March 2019, this was published through a gazette disregarding these amendments. The second and sixth sections of the agreements clearly state these conditions. After this act was approved, a part of the $480 million was obtained from Millennium Challenge Corporation to measure and release lands. This agreement also includes a condition that requires a joint ownership when the landowner transfers ownership to a third party. The agreement further adds that the measuring of land within the economic corridor should be done by external parties. So our question is, why is the US government granting us $480 million, supporting us to build an economic corridor and influencing the Land Act, facilitating the transfer of land ownership to third parties? This is clearly the process of approving the orders of the Millennium Challenge Corporation agreement in Parliament.
මේ Millennium Challenge Corporation එකට අවශ්‍ය කරන විධිවිධාන ටික පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ සම්මත කරන ක්‍රියාවලිය තමයි මේ යන්නේ.
The special purpose aircraft which arrived at the Bandaranaike International Airport left to Maldives this morning. However, State Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation said the aircraft is scheduled to reach India.
This special aircraft, the Basler BT-67 aircraft from Spectrum Air ZSASN, is fitted with one of the advanced fixed-wing airborne systems capable of ground surveillance and has the ability to simultaneously map shallow and deep features up to 1,000 meters. Speaking to Newsfirst, State Minister of Transport expressed the following views.
This is a small aircraft that travels from Indonesia to Mumbai. While travelling to Mumbai, it temporarily landed at the Katanaike airport. This is a normal thing. This aircraft will leave on the 9th.
Although the State Minister expressed those views, the aircraft left to Maldives this morning. The aircraft has currently landed at the Maldives airport. Issuing a statement, the Civil Aviation Authority said although the operator had initially planned to fly to Mumbai, its revised itinerary is to operate the aircraft to Lanseria in South Africa via Male, Seychelles, Pemba and Beira without any change in the date of departure from Colombo.
Well, you're tuned on to Tuesday's edition of Primetime News. We'll be right back with more news after this break.
Abhiman Varam Promotional Tour 10th of July, Avisavella, Ratnapura, Balangoda, Jaffna and Mana. Abhimanvaram, empowering the dreams of the next generation.
Main sponsor.
Welcome back to the news. Now, leader of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna MP Anurakumara Dissanayake constantly debated about Minister Dayagamage's silence in answering the questions that matter. Another debate took place in Parliament today.
I reject all accusations claiming that I intentionally avoided responding to such questions. In all 25 districts, with the participation of 125,000 Samurdhi beneficiary families, we organized 25 awareness programs. We provided a T-shirt free of charge to every individual who participated in this program. I gave instructions to print 400,000 posters and paste them across the island. Neither Dayagamage's name nor the UNP symbol was printed in any of those posters or T-shirts. You had charged around 500 rupees each from 600,000 Samurdhi beneficiary families for the printing of posters and manufacturing T-shirts. That amounts to 300 million rupees. Which company was given the contract to manufacture the T-shirts? A company named Sanasili. Who did Sanasili outsource the manufacturing of the T-shirts to? Who is the owner of the garment manufacturing company? How much did you approve initially? 180 million rupees. You could have charged 300 rupees each, but then the government issued a circular stating 300 rupees was not enough, make it 500 rupees. That was when the cost increased to 300 million rupees. 300 million rupees from the funds allocated for the poor have been wasted on posters and T-shirts. Honourable Speaker, do you approve the expenditure of 300 million rupees for the printing of posters and manufacturing of T-shirts? It is disappointing that MP Anurakumara Dissanayake spoke in such a manner regarding the provision of a T-shirt worth 450 rupees to the poor families. Daya Apparels has 9 garment manufacturing companies, and I can confirm that these T-shirts were not manufactured in any of these factories. Funds were not obtained from the treasury, neither did we take anything from the Samurdhi beneficiaries. If you did not contribute your personal funds and did not obtain any funds from the treasury, tell us how you sourced these funds. You may consider 300 million as a substantial amount. However, we will earn 30,000 million rupees within a year for the poor people. We will generate national income to this country. When compared with the central bank bond scam, yes, 300 million rupees is indeed a small amount. The bond scam incurred a loss of 11 billion rupees, and this transaction only incurred a loss of 300 million rupees. So if you're comparing your looting with that of the Prime Minister's, in that case I must agree. My question is, from where did you find the 300 billion rupees to print these posters? You must inform Parliament in this regard. When you served as the Minister of Agriculture, a large number of posters were printed and pasted across the island just to give away 4 milk tins to the people. This expense, when compared with yours, is very small. Do not get angry. All you have to do is explain the manner in which you sourced these funds and spent it. We have not spent any government funds, Honourable Speaker. I believe that I do not have to provide any answers to this question. The National Secretariat for Elders has collected 2.1 billion rupees at present by charging 100 rupees from their salaries. Relief must be provided to them. However, you had proposed to purchase 50 buses. We are strengthening elders societies across the country. These funds will be donated to elders societies. 500 rupees have been charged from each individual. Is including the cost of promotion in the marketing budget without printing the face of the politician right or wrong? If you have not charged a cent from the Samurdhi beneficiaries, and if you have not obtained any funds from the treasury, you are the only minister in this parliament with superpowers. So I request that you share your secrets with the rest of us. How did you find the 300 million rupees?
Another phase of the Sisu Daham Sevana program, an initiative by Minister Sajith Premadasa, was held in Mirihana today.
An event to lay the foundation stone for a new Dhamma school building at the Paramita temple in Mirihana was held today under the auspices of Minister Sajith Premadasa. Minister Patli Champika Ranawaka was also present at this occasion. This project was initiated targeting temples which face a dearth of resources. 4 million rupees from the Central Cultural Fund will be utilized to build this building that encompasses all facilities. These leaders who speak about the deterioration of Buddhism, what have they done to contribute towards Buddhism even when they had all the power in their hands? They stage musical shows opposite the temple of the sacred tooth relic and bring dancers all the way from Russia, Kazakhstan and Tajikistan, get war heroes and lay sandbags so that they can hold car races around the road opposite the temple of the sacred tooth relic. Is this how they protect Buddhism? The religious people of this country should practically understand this situation. We are always under stress because we are unable to provide our children with the education that we want. We do not have the jobs that we want. We do not earn as much as we want. We do not have cars or homes. Where do we go to relieve this stress? We go to the temple. As the Minister of Megapolis and Western Development, I receive an overwhelming amount of complaints about unauthorized constructions. I have one strong principle that I adhere to, that is, despite what legal consequences I might face, I do not get involved with cases related to temples or schools.
A Maulani who had closely associated the mastermind behind the April 21st attacks, Mohammed Zahran, was arrested during a raid carried out in Rasnaikapura today by the Police Terrorist Investigations Division.
According to the police, the suspect had trained in Blackpool, Nuwara and in Hambantota. The suspect, who was arrested yesterday, is detained by the TID. Police said that steps have been taken to obtain detention orders to further interrogate the suspect.
A conflict between a group of students at the University of Runa and members of the non-academic staff took place this morning. Now 10 people are receiving treatment at the Matharu General Hospital as a result of this.
The main administrative building of the University of Runa has been under control of students as of late. University staff members had entered the administrative building and had attempted to mark their attendance. However, according to our correspondent, the machine to mark attendance was obstructed by a group of students. Following a discussion between the two groups, the students have agreed to leave the premises. However, following an incident, a tense situation was reported. The security detail of the university intervened to control the situation. 12 people, including 10 students, a member of the non-academic staff and a member of the security detail, were injured.
About 200 students surrounded the non-academic staff and attacked them. This is what they do to showcase their power. A small group is trying to spread their political power within the university. This can only be controlled by the police and armed forces. I convened police and armed forces in the morning. We'd like to tell the Vice-Chancellor not to lie before the media. You are already exposed. You cannot give a solution to problems of the students. He wants to close down this university.
10 of the injured people are still receiving treatment at the Matharu General Hospital.
Senior journalist Victor Ivan spoke about harmony at an event held in Putlam.
Previously, the president had a massive power. President J.R. Jayawardena himself said the only thing he cannot do is to make a woman a man. It is true. Now it has been removed. The new ones will be like a shepherd. There are no powers to do anything. He's there only to sign as the president. It is a waste of money to have an election to appoint a person like that. About 100 million is spent on elections. It should be selected either by a ballot board or from the parliament. Our politicians don't have a time to worry about the people. They carry out their own businesses. They cannot act like that. Public representatives can't act in such a manner. We are concerned about these things. Resolving these issues seem like a dream, but that is the only way the issues of the society can be solved. A constitution grants the sovereignty to the people. Other countries in the world do not let politicians and candidates spend billions of money in this manner.
Former Attorney at Law Nagananda Kodituaku visited the Mahanayakas of the Malvatu and Askiri chapters today.
Nagananda Kodituaku, who visited Kandy earlier today, expressed the following views to the media after visiting the Mahanayakas of the Malwatu and Askeri chapters. As a solution to the tragedy faced by this country, I have decided to present myself as a candidate for the upcoming presidential election. A new program will be launched to introduce a new people-friendly constitution. According to the new constitution, the parliament will be limited to 60 seats and the existing provincial council system will be brought to an end.
Up next is Action TV.
Newsfirst reported that the Blue Mountain Property Company is allegedly defrauding its customers. After this initial report, Newsfirst received over 50 phone calls from individuals who have been affected due to these alleged fraudulent activities. They all claimed that they have paid the full amounts due for the lands they had purchased from Blue Mountain and they had not received the land deeds for those lands. There are people who purchased plots of land from this land sale in the Batakattar area in Piliyandala. Though many who purchased land from this real estate have paid the full amount that is due for their respective plots of land, the complete estate is under mortgage. The Blue Mountain Company had mortgaged this land at the Borella branch of a private bank. I spent over 3 million and purchased 2 plots of land. They said that the deed will be provided within 3 months of purchase. They said that and obtained legal fees as well. But they did not do so. When we went there, they said it will be given in 12 installments. The plot of land I purchased is in Pannala. I got to know about this plot of land when I came to Sri Lanka on holiday in 2017. I have paid 2,615,000 rupees. I have not received the deed. The Blue Mountain Company had mortgaged this land at a private bank, but the company has not paid the money we gave them to the bank. I have a letter that was given to me by Blue Mountain that the deeds will be given in 90 working days. That was given in March and now that time has also lapsed. We have not yet received the deed. The Blue Mountain Company has also mortgaged this land in the Yakkal area and the private bank that has granted the mortgage have now advertised that they are to auction it since the Blue Mountain Company has not paid the mortgage. A group of people who purchased plots of land from this real estate have also paid the full amounts that are due to the Blue Mountain Company. They have done so several months ago. After several affected individuals decided to take legal action against the injustice that has taken place against them from this company, 2 of its directors are currently under remand custody. The chairman of the Blue Mountain Company is evading the police after he was notified to provide a statement. However, he spoke to Newsfirst today and said that out of over 1,500 people who have purchased land from his company, about 300 people have paid the complete amount for their lands. He claims that he is not able to provide the deeds for these people. He added that a settlement plan to provide the land deeds for those people will be submitted to the Colombo Commercial High Court in the near future.
The promotional tour of the Abhiman Varam scholarship program, jointly powered by Anchor and the Champions Network, got underway for the 8th consecutive day today.
Abhiman Varam Perakaman Charika. Abhiman, 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 Abhiman.
The promotional tour of the Abhiman Varam Scholarship Program 2019 took place in Kegol and Vaunia districts today. Our team first visited the Bamunagama Maliyadeva Junior School to create awareness about the scholarship program. Our team was warmly welcomed by the school students. Our teams also visited the Ranwela Mahanaga Mahavidyalaya, Galigamua Madhya Mahavidyalaya and Tholangamua National School to create awareness about the scholarship program.
මම ලංකා සමස්ත ලංකාවේ දක්ෂකම අනුභව වුණා. ඒකෙදී බොහෝ වෙලාවට අභිමාන වරන්නගෙන් මට උදව් ලැබෙයි කියලා මම හිතනවා.
අපේ දැයේ දරුවන්ගේ විශේෂයෙන් මේ වරප්‍රසාද නොලත් නාගරික නොවන එවන් සියලුම දරුවන් ගැන සාධාරණීකරණය කරමින් ඔවුන්ගේ හැකියාවන් ඔප්නැංවීමට දක්වන දායකත්වය පිළිබඳව මාගේ ප්‍රණාමය පුද කරනවා.
Another team engaged in promotional activities in the Mullaithiv district. The team visited Roman Catholic Girls' School, Semmale Mahavidyalaya in Mullaithiv and Mankulam Mahavidyalaya in Mullaithiv. You can call the hotline 0777 600 040 or log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk for more information on Abhiman Varam. The next phase of the promotional campaign for the Abhiman Varam Scholarship Program 2019 will take place in Jaffna, Avisavella, Ratnapura and Balangoda tomorrow.
Abhiman Varam Perakaman Charik.
Another project implemented under the Gammadha initiative was vested with the students of Eskadal Tamil School in Kandapula, Norelia.
This school, where children of estate workers receive education, do not even have the basic facilities. More than 80 students from grade 1 to 5 receive education. These students have been facing difficulties due to the lack of sanitary facilities in the school. Gammadha was able to bring relief to these children by providing water and sanitary facilities with the assistance of businessman Mohammad Riasi from Kandy. Assistant Estate Superintendent of the Eskadale Estate Anupa Gunasekara, Director of Administration at the Capital Maharaja Organization and former DIG Kitsiri Dayananda and Gammadha officials were present at the event.